welcome to our postgraduate study info session. So today we'll be talking about postgraduate psychology. So more specifically, the graduate diploma in psychology. So we've got a couple of different psychology programs available for students to study at UNE. And one of the most popular ones is the graduate diploma in psychology because it is a bridging program for students who have studied a degree before to come into psychology. So it's a 1.5-year program. It's a total of 10 units. And what it allows students to do is move from a bachelor degree in a completely unrelated field into the field of psychology to go on to do a 4th-year psychology program, such as the Bachelor of Psychology with honours, just doing that honours year so that they can become a general psychologist. So a lot of this information, it can be used for any courses that you're interested in. And if you've got any specific ones, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So you can pop it in the Zoom chat, or you can ask it just via voice as well. And I'm happy to answer those as we go along. If there's anything you don't understand or if I'm going too fast, please do also speak up. So we, at UNE, we do a lot of postgraduate study, and almost 80 to 90% of our students are online students. So the most students we have are all in that postgraduate study area, and it does allow students to go on to do a lot further study without actually having to be on campus at all. So courses such as the graduate diploma in psychology do allow students to study that entire degree fully online. So I'll just show you a quick video to get us started, just about how to find that course information for the course that you're looking to do, how to apply to actually study with us, and also how to apply for advanced standing. So if you've done courses before similar to this area, you are welcome to apply for credit for those courses. And a lot of the time we are able to recognize those, so you don't have to do those again. So I'll bring up, so you're welcome to watch the video here, and I'll put these links in the chat below as well after I've gone through this presentation. And if you've got any questions about it, you're welcome to simply message me. So we'll be here for the next hour or so, and you can pop in and out as much as you'd like. So we've got a heap of different pages on our website that will go through the various topics of and information about the courses. So you can browse all of the different courses that we have available. So both our undergraduate and our postgraduate courses. And just by clicking on each of those courses, we'll tell you whether they're offered as online courses, when the next intakes will be, and what the course costs for those are as well. So most of our courses are offered to be able to start in trimester 1, 2, and some of them are even available for trimester 3. So our next intake will be trimester 2, and classes for that in trimester will start on the 29th of June, and applications will close on the 19th of June. If you're looking to start in trimester 3, those classes will start on the 26th of October and they'll run until the 26th of February. And those applications are expected to close in late October. Otherwise, you can always apply for trimester 1. So those classes are expected to start on the 1st of March next year, which is 2021. And those applications are expected to open around mid-August. So those applications aren't quite open yet, but for most of our courses, they will open in mid-August and run all the way until about the end of February. So all of these links, again, will be put into the chat in the Zoom so that you can go through and have a look. And I'll run through our website as well, just so that you can have a feel of it, because some of the things are a little bit hidden. So you can browse our courses. I'll go through the application process, because there are a few different ways that you are able to apply. I'll go through the advanced standing process and our application dates. So the first thing I'll do is I'll run through our website here. So this website here, so I'll bring up our first page, and let's see, doing the Bachelor of Psychology. So if you have completed the Bachelor of Psychology, you are able to go into the graduate diploma in psychology. It doesn't quite matter what field that was in. The graduate diploma in psychology is a bridging course, so it's not the 4th-year equivalent. If you're looking for a 4th-year program, you would be focusing on the Bachelor of Psychology with honours, just that honours year. And we have in the past also offered the Graduate Diploma in Psychology Advanced. That Graduate Diploma in Psychology Advanced is no longer offered because it wasn't getting enough students into it, because the Bachelor of Psychology with Honours was the exact same program. It was just offered under a Commonwealth supported place. So we are still offering that Graduate Diploma and that Bachelor of Psychology with Honours, just the Honours year, so that you are able to go in and do just that 4th year program. If you're wanting to do a psychology postgraduate program to either bring up your GPA so you can be competitive for 4th year psychology, or if you're just wanting to simply redo some of those psychology subjects, you are more than welcome to do that Graduate Diploma in Psychology. A lot of those graduate diplomas, the subjects within that will be basically the same sort of psychology subjects that you would have done in your Bachelor of Psychology. So like you've got Psych 101, 102, you've got the statistics, research methods, abnormal psychology, all of those advanced research methods and statistics as well, all of those sort of units, that's within that. So you are able to redo those courses again so that you can bring up your GPA. That being said, if you are wanting to just do it to bring up your GPA, you're welcome to just do a couple of those subjects and then withdraw. So you don't actually have to do that full graduate diploma if you want to be competitive. So say you've got a couple, so the GPA requirement for 4th year psychology was a 6.5 for this year. So, and we're expecting it to be very similar again for next year. So if you've got a couple that are just dragging you down, so say you've got passes or credits in those rather than distinctions and high distinctions, you are able to just redo those couple of subjects that you got those slightly lower marks in, do those, bring up your GPA, and then just withdraw from the graduate diploma so that you can go on and apply for your 4th year psychology program with those higher grades. So say you only need to do Psych 202, which is the research methods and statistics unit, you are able to come into the graduate diploma in psychology, redo that unit, get a really good GPA for that one, and then simply withdraw, and then apply with your undergraduate psychology degree. And then because we take the most recent results for each of those units, you would then apply with that Psych 202 that you did within the graduate diploma. So to find all of the information about what courses are offered and what units are offered within each course, you would just have a look at our UNE website. So this is our homepage here. So just by searching UNE or going to une.edu.au, you'll come to our homepage here. So you can see you've got our banner here with the expert online education. And then as you scroll down a little bit, you'll see find a course and type of subject or keyword. And that type of subject or keyword is where you'd search for the specific course that you're wanting to do. So say in here, type of subject keyword, you can just type in psychology, and that just by clicking go, that will actually bring up all of the psychology, all of the degrees that have psychology in them, whether they're undergraduate or postgraduate courses. Now, you can see all of these are undergraduate courses, and then you also have your honours. So the Bachelor of Psychology with honours is actually up here, and that's your 4th year equivalent. And then you've got your postgraduate courses. So you can see the Graduate Diploma in Psychology is this one here. So you can click on that one, and that will actually bring up a full overview of this course. So you can see it is offered to be able to be started in trimester 1, 2, or 3. It is only offered under full fee, and it does take 1.5 years full-time, or it can take a little bit longer part-time, just as you need it to. So if you can just study 1 or 2 units at a time, if you wanted to complete this full degree. If you wanted to study full-time, it would be about 4 units per trimester, and you can study that fully online. So if you just come up the top, we were on the course overview before. If you just go over to that course rules and plans tab there, this will show you the admission rules, so to see if you're eligible for the course. So you can see this one is just a level 7 bachelor qualification in any discipline. So it does mean that if you have done a bachelor in psychology, it doesn't matter. It can be psychology, it could be something completely unrelated. It just needs to be either a bachelor qualification or a level 8 or higher qualification in any discipline. So such as a graduate certificate or a graduate diploma. So these are all based off the Australian Qualifications Framework standards. So the graduate diploma in psychology is a level 8 qualification. So if you just scroll down here, you can see there's a bit of information about advanced standing. So if you've done psychology courses before and you are wanting to complete the full degree, you are welcome to apply for advanced standing for those courses so that you can take a little bit of that time off your degree and start and finish that degree a little bit sooner. And then as you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see the program of study. So that's got your course structure. So you've got your core units, of which there's 54 credit points. Now, CPS stands for credit points. Each unit at UNE is worth 6 credit points. So you've got your core units, and then you've got your listed units. So you've got 9 core units and 1 listed unit. So if you just click on that link below, sorry, I went a bit fast there. It just says to view complete program of study, click here. And this will be for any course as well. So you just by clicking on that link, it will actually bring up the full course list of all units offered within this course. So you see you've got Psych 101, 102, 200, 202, and all of these ones under that core units banner here, those are all your core units. So those are ones that all students have to complete. And then just down here, you have your listed units. So of those listed units within the graduate diploma in psychology, you just choose one of those units, and that can be any from this list here. So it's completely up to you whether you want to do health psychology, abnormal psychology, whatever it is. So you can see the breakdown of the course, and that's how you can search for any of our courses at UNE. And just underneath this program of study, you'll see our course plans for each commencing trimester. So we're coming into trimester 2. So if you're wanting to have a look here, just have a click on that part-time course plans. So that will actually bring up the suggested course plan and the progression through that course for students starting in trimester 2, for example. So you can see we suggest starting with Psych 206 and Psych 213. We do also recommend that you start with Psych. So this is for candidates if you've got credit for Psych 101 and 102. So for example, say you've done Psych 101 and 102 in your previous undergraduate degree, and you're just wanting to come in and do the rest of the psychology units, you're welcome to follow this program of study. Otherwise, if you're just going from the very, very start, so you're redoing Psych 101 and 102, this is the program and the course progression that we do suggest for students, which would allow you to study this course in 3 years. So we only offer part-time for trimester 2 because there is a limit on the amount of units that you can do due to course progressions and the fact that some of those units will have prerequisites. For example, Psych 206 and Psych 213, these 2 units here, they have the prerequisite of Psych 101 and 102, which are these 2 units. So you have to do those units before, which is why it is a little bit hard to study full-time in that first trimester. That being said, you are more than welcome to study part-time over trimester 2 and 3. And then when you come into 2021 in trimester 1, you can then change to full-time study load and finish that off in a year. Any questions at the moment? No? All right. Well, I'll keep going on, but if you do have any questions, please just let me know. So this is where you find all of the course information for any of our courses. Then again, if you're not quite sure, here we are. GPA is just the 2nd and 3rd year. Yes, that's right. So Psych 101 and 102, because those are the only 2 first-year psychology units, technically, they're the only units that don't count towards your GPA. So if you are using the graduate diploma in psychology to redo some of those units, I would, because you've already got that bachelor in psychology, I would recommend getting advanced standing for Psych 101 and 102, because redoing them is just meaning that you're taking up a little bit more time that you could be using on some of those other units. And those 2 units won't count towards your GPA. So redoing Psych 202, for example, or 306, those 2nd and 3rd year units are more valuable for you to redo than Psych 101 and 102, if that makes sense. No worries. So just going back to our homepage here, if you're not sure which course specifically wanting to do, you can actually browse all of the courses that we have available at the university. So again, just by clicking on that UNE logo, it will always bring you back to the UNE homepage. So this UNE homepage, again, if you scroll down just next to that Find a Course, you've got that Browse Courses button. So just by clicking that Browse Courses button, it brings up every single course that we have available for students to study at UNE. So especially if you're not quite sure which of those courses that you're wanting to do, you are welcome to go through and have a nice long scroll through each of those degrees. And again, each of them will also tell you what you can go through to the program of study with each of those units available, and course plans will always be up there. You may not have a course plan for trimester 3. So say if you're starting in trimester 2 and there are units that you want to complete in trimester 3, they might not be on the program of study because trimester 3 is our optional teaching period. So not all lecturers have their subjects available in trimester 3, and not all students are wanting to study in trimester 3. Especially if you are working at the same time, it can be a quite busy period for some students. So they decide to put the study on hold for trimester 3 and simply start back up in trimester 1 the next year. Otherwise, if it is more of a quiet period, you are welcome to pick up as many units as you would like. So whether that's 1, 2, or 3, or 4 units, just depending on unit availability in that trimester 3. So you can either fast track your degree or spread it out a little bit. So you would have seen that in the program of study for the graduate diploma in psychology and the course plan, there was just the 1 unit offered in trimester 3. There are more units that you are able to do in trimester 3. That is just our suggestion for students who are not wanting to study continuously in trimester 3. You are still welcome to just study that 1 unit at a time, or you are able to do more than just 1. So all of our courses are here for students to take. If you are looking at studying in trimester 2, another course I would actually suggest looking at, which at the moment will not be offered in 2021, would actually be the Bachelor of Psychological Science. Now, the reason I would actually suggest this course is it's only 2 units longer than the Graduate Diploma in Psychology. And the other thing is that it is offered under a Commonwealth supported place. This course there is a graduate entry for the graduate diploma and the Bachelor of Psychological Science. So even with a bachelor degree, again, if you've got that bachelor in psychology, as you mentioned that you do have, you are able to come into this one. It just requires a bachelor degree in any discipline. Again, you can get credit for that Psych 101 and 102, and just do those 200 and 300 level units, so the 2nd and 3rd year level units, just to bring your GPA up to be more competitive for that 4th year psychology. The other option, because it is offered under a Commonwealth supported place, it means that each of those units is significantly cheaper, and you can defer those fees to your HECS help loan. So for the graduate diploma in psychology, units are generally around the $3,200 mark, whereas in the Bachelor of Psychological Science, each of those units is actually $835 per unit. And you can defer those to your HECS help loan. In the fee help, with the graduate diploma in psychology, you are still able to defer your fees to your fee help loan. And Australian citizens and permanent residents are eligible for fee help and for HECS help. As a permanent resident, you are eligible for the Commonwealth supported place. You just have to pay each of those fees upfront at the start of each trimester. So say if you're just studying 1 subject a trimester, you just pay for that 1 subject. So you don't have to pay for any subjects that you're not studying or that you've got credit for. So I can also show you how to find those fees. And honestly, the easiest way to find fees is just to go up to the search bar that's always at the top of any UNE page. So even if you're coming back to the UNE homepage, that search bar will be right up the top there for you. So just by typing in fees, it will bring up all of a heap of different fees here. But if you just go to our fees and cost page here, you've got each of the different sections. So you can see the Commonwealth supported places, and there's a heap of information there. And again, I'll put all these links in the chat for you. And you've also got So you're welcome to go through all of this information. And you've also got the HEX help booklets, and the census date is generally about 4 weeks after classes start. So say if you're coming into a course, you do a couple of the first couple of weeks of a course, and you decide it's not the course you want to do, or something comes up, you don't have to continue with that course. If you withdraw before the census date, you don't have any academic or financial liability for that course, which basically means you don't have to pay for that course at all. If you're looking for, if you have full fee, you'd be looking at domestic students under full fee. So there's, again, more information there on the different options with full fee and fee help. But if you're looking for specific fees, you can just go over to that 2020 course fees here. So student fees, 2020 course fees, and then you've got each of the options. So Commonwealth supported places, which would be the Bachelor of Psychological Science with the graduate entry, you'd be coming in under a Commonwealth supported place as an Australian citizen or permanent resident. So you can see the student contribution bands and charges. So the psychology comes under a band 1, which is the behavioural science and social sciences, clinical psychology, languages, visual and performing arts. So under a band 1, each of those units cost $835. The per EFTSL is just how many units that you're wanting to do. So that's a full-time study load per year. If you are if you're wanting to do the graduate diploma in psychology, that one is coming under a full fee. So just in that full fee link over here. So you're wanting to come down to that course tuition fees for domestic students. And this actually shows you each of the costs per unit and for the full degree. So just scrolling down to the graduate diploma in psychology. So you can see all of the different postgraduate courses are here because they're either offered under full fee or there are some quotas on the CSP places available for some courses, such as the Master of Arts, for example. That one does have Commonwealth supported places available. However, there are a limit on the amount of Commonwealth supported places we do have available. So we're coming down to the graduate diploma in psychology, which is this one here. As you can see, it's got 60 credit points or 10 units, and each of those units will cost $3,119, which means in total for the full degree, based on the 2020 prices, the full degree will cost $31,190. Now, you don't have to pay the full amount up front. You just pay for those units that you're studying in each trimester. So say in trimester 1, if you're just studying 2 units, each of those units will cost the $3,119. So in trimester 1, you would just have to pay the $6,238 for those 2 units. So you can go through and have a look at all of the different fees available for any of our courses this way. And you can see all of the information about how many units, and if you are able to get credit, so say if you get credit for Psych 101 and 102, you'd be looking at that $24,952 instead for the full 2020 course costs. Now, if you're wanting to apply for advanced standing, so say because you've done a Bachelor of Psychology, I would really recommend getting advanced standing for Psych 101 and 102. The easiest way to do that is, again, to come up to this search bar at the very top of the page and just type in advanced standing. Every university has a slightly different name for it. It can be credit transfer, recognition of prior learning, whatever you'd like to call it. We just call it advanced standing because we like fancy names sometimes. And you've got that first one here, advanced standing. So you've got information on how it works, what to put in those application all through here, and you've got heaps of drop downs. But this one here, how to apply, and then online advanced standing application form. That will bring you to the full application form. And if you're currently enrolled with UNE, you can just click yes, especially if you've put an application in. It will bring you to your login page. That's absolutely fine. But for now, if you could just click no, it will allow you to go out through with your Ask UNE account and go through the general application process for advanced standing. So what you would be doing is matching up units in your with your current degree that you're wanting to do in the graduate diploma. So for example, Psych 101 is a pretty standard unit. So if you did Psych 101 in your undergraduate, or if it was Psych 001 or however what it was named, you would just match that unit up with the unit in the advanced standing application process. So you will need to supply any documents. So equals transcripts if you've got those, and if you've got an equals transcript, you won't need to get it signed by a JP, sorry. If you've just got a physical transcript, then you would need to get that one signed by a JP. You would just need to get that signed off and then just scan it and upload it to the application. You will also need to supply course information. So the learning outcomes are the main way that we assess advanced standing. So those advanced standing learning outcomes need to be about 80% similar for us to give you credit for them. So by providing the course outline and the learning outcomes from your university from the year that you completed those units is the easiest way and the fastest way for advanced standing applications to be processed. So advanced standing applications, if you are looking at studying in trimester 2, I would recommend getting those in as soon as possible, simply because advanced standing applications, because of the complexity of them, can take 6 to 8 weeks to be assessed. So the sooner you get them in, the sooner you get an outcome. Now, that's not to say you're not able to go ahead and enroll in some of those courses. So say if you're wanting to come into the graduate diploma in psychology and just wanting to do the 200 and 300 level or the second and third year psych units, those ones will require Psych 101 and 102. However, when you go through the full enrollment process with those units, you are still able to enroll in them, even though they may come up as invalid, but you can always apply for a waiver, which is just while you're still awaiting the advanced standing applications, we can get the school to assess it at the same time, so we can fast track that, and you can confirm that you can get credit for those and that you can go ahead and study those 200 and 300 level units. Okay, so we'll just jump back to this slide here. How to apply. So I mentioned the application dates before. So applications for trimester 2 will close on the 19th of June, and classes will start on the 29th of June. And then applications for trimester 3 are currently open and will close in late October, and classes for trimester 3 will start on the 26th of October and run until the 26th of February. Applications for trimester 1 are not yet open. We are expecting them to open in trimester 1 in August this year, and will close in about late February. So just jumping back to the UNE homepage is the easiest way to go through the application process. And again, just under this banner with the lovely lady in the glasses, you've got find a course, type a subject or keyword, browse courses, browse units, and your lovely little purple apply now button. So just by clicking on that one, it will go through a couple of questions. So you'd put in your residency status, whether that's Australian citizen, permanent resident, or other. You'd put in the type of course that you're wanting. So in this case, with the graduate diploma in psychology, it would be a postgraduate degree rather than a postgraduate research or bachelor honours. So you can see there's 2 different ways here to apply. You can either apply directly to UNE through our online application portal, or you can contact our offer assurance team. Now, our offer assurance team is exactly the same way as you would do an online application. You would simply do it over the phone. So someone else can fill out all the nice little boxes for you. And the other thing is it only takes 10 to 15 minutes, and you can actually get an outcome at the end of the conversation. So it means that you know that you're into the course at the end, and then if you need to provide any transcripts or such, you can just do that via email, because they will send you an email just to confirm your application, and you can just reply to that one with any additional documents that you may need. So this phone number's here, just there. I can also put that in the chat for you if you are wanting to apply, and they can answer a lot of other questions during that application process too. Otherwise, if you are wanting to apply just online, those applications do take about 2 to 3 weeks to be assessed. But just over here, you just click on that Go to Online portal. So you can start your application here. And if you do need to pause during that application, and come back to it to finish it, you can just come back to this page and log in with your email and the password that you set. So when you click that start your application process, it will ask for an email and a password for you to be able to log back into that application, and then it will go through more questions. So you're welcome to go through that full application there, put in passwords, and it will go through 4 different steps. So your first step is your personal details, and that will ask for your name, citizenship status, if you spoke English at home, your address, your email, your best contact number, all of those sort of details. The next step is your qualifications. So definitely put in things like your bachelor degree, any other certificate 4s or diplomas that you've completed, they can also help. But for the graduate diploma in psychology, the main ones you'd be looking at would be postgraduate or graduate courses such as bachelor degrees or graduate certificates and diplomas if you have completed those. So put all of those in. If you have completed those at an Australian university, a lot of the time with the online applications, we don't actually need your transcripts for those. It's only if it flags with a little orange triangle next to it that we would need you to upload any documents. So because this application process, you can see up here, is une.uac.edu.au. UAC is the University Admission Centre. So this application is still directly to UNE. It's still directly to us, free application. It is just hosted by the University Admission Centre. That just means that we can access, by you giving us information of the previous study that you've done, it means we can access that study so that we don't have to go and try and find, you don't have to submit your transcripts and you don't have to submit any of your documents relating to that study. We can just find that simply through the University Admission Centre, which just makes things a lot easier for you. But you are always welcome to ask us questions. So I'm happy to answer questions for the next half hour or so, or now if you've got any more. Otherwise, you can give us a call, you can send us an email, we've got a live chat, or you can come through our Facebook page, all of which are on from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And even if you have questions on the weekend, you're welcome to send us an email and we'll get to them as soon as we can when we're back in the office on Monday. So our number's just there. So it's the 1-800-818-865 number.